Welcome, dismembers. Let's talk chop. So, here is my shirt for today, and it is the movie that we will be reviewing. Return of the Living Dead. Yes. Do I recommend it? Absolutely. One of my favorite movies. It was made the year I was born. I don't remember the year I was when I first watched it. I think I was 11 or 12 when I finally got to see it, but great movie. Holds up still. Super cheese. Very punky. Very appropriate for the time. I would say that when it comes to social climates and choices to infuse them into horror movies, I will say this. Sometimes, personally, I just want to be entertained. You can leave the social elements out sometimes. I get it that there's a whole genre now of social conscious movies. For example, all of Jordan Peele's. Necessary, I get it. It's an experience. It's embracing. He is doing something kind of revolutionary in that way. I'm just gonna go off on a little tangent real quick. He is doing something revolutionary where he's specifically focusing on Black horror in general. He's shaping it. He's molding it. He's like, this is a neglected whole source, because let's be real, the real horror is racism, right? The real things that scare us in the world are the things that happen every single fucking day. An entire race of people are marginalized on a daily fucking basis. That's pretty scary. What is it to be Black? What is it to have that experience? It's fucking terrifying a lot of the time. So I totally get it and I understand. For me though, it's in my face so much on TV, in the news, and I understand, I respect it. But sometimes literally I just want to just shut off. I just want to be able to focus, and the point of horror for me is escapism. Even though I find the scariest things to be sometimes the realest things, sometimes I want to get away from reality. So having said that, this movie in particular in the 80s, you know, when it was punk and fucking cool and fuck everybody, and you know, it was way lighter of statement piece, this movie, just this specific movie. I've got to get in, I really have to be careful because I don't want to piss people off, because punk is a real thing still. And not that it wasn't, you know, serious, and it wasn't made to be taken seriously back in the 80s, but this movie kind of frames it in such a way, and I just fucking love it. So I'm going to stop digging myself a grave here and continue on with the review. So the cast is brilliant. Clu Gallagher, I want to say Don Kappa, who played Ernie. He was my favorite character. He was so great, because you know, in horror, when certain characters find out what's happening, the reaction is its own piece of the movie. They can be the smart, like, okay, well, we got to do X, Y, and Z. They could be the fucking freak out and fuck everything up even worse. There's different routes that the plot goes based on the reaction of the main characters, right? So Ernie is fucking so, like, he freaks out, but he internalizes, and he's like, okay, I'm freaking the fuck out on the inside, but let's figure shit out externally. And I appreciated that. He was so believable, and he just seems so cool. Like, I love Ernie. And I'd like to do a special shout out that the two kind of mean people that managed all the fucking chaos were named Bert and Ernie. And I just fucking thought that was classico. So anyways, back to the movie at hand. So this movie did some things that I had never seen before. Mind you, I was 11 at the time, but I still don't remember too many movies, even as an adult, having watched older movies than that tried to show different elements of zombification, right? Different cool little gags and bits and elemental pieces that kind of glued this together. Like, for instance, and I'm just gonna say this because it's not that crazy of a fucking plot point to give away. This whole thing is based out of a factory of medical supplies, weird odds and ends, where vets and dentists and doctors get their shit to practice, right? So there's this lovable idiot, isn't there always, right? Especially in the 80s ones, right? It's always that one idiot. So lovable idiot that works there. First day, ooh, good to go. Cutting his, is that even an expression? Cutting your thumbs? I don't think so, but whatever. He's green and he comes in there and he's getting trained, and that's where shit starts to happen. But when it does start, it starts in the warehouse, and you would think like, oh, well, that's not going to be a problem. How can there be zombies? Think again, there totally are. But what's cool is even like vet supplies, right? There's this like cut in half dog so that vets can study and see the insides of a dog. Poor Sage is looking at me while I'm making this, thinking, oh my god, cut in half dogs. So the half dog thing comes to life. The tail wags and the organs are kind of moving, and the response of the actors once they figure this out are like, holy shit, and fucking rightfully so. This thing is nailed to a fucking, well, epoxied whatever to a fucking board, and it's cut in half and it's moving. So yeah, that was fucking a cool little thing. A butterfly, box, a shadow box. The butterflies started to move, and it was like, they're pinned. That was cool. Like, it really sparked my imagination as a child. It was a good first little tip your toes into the horror waters, because it's like, oh, that's neat. Like, it's not gory, it's just cool and thoughtful and innovative of like ways that you can translate reanimation, right? So and then it progresses, and I'll get into the spoiler a bit later. So anyways, it starts out really interesting, and then it just kind of picks up from there. You've got two storylines that eventually merge into the one. Not a lot of movies do this successfully, because they'll have two, and one will be like, and the other's like super slow, and it's like, okay, get to the point where you merge already. This was not like that. You enjoyed both paths before they merge together, if you will. You enjoyed the story from both perspectives. So anyways, there's the actors, right? One of them, Trash. This chick, this lady that was in a lot of 80s horror films, notably also Night of the Demons, which is a great 80s movie. I would recommend that too. Maybe someday I'll review that one. She's so like, I don't know, she seems cool, and if she ever watches this, which I fucking highly doubt, but like if she ever does, I hope to God this doesn't seem offensive, but who owed you a favor? Because my God, thank God it was horror, and you don't have to be able to really act, but you are brilliant in your non-acting. It's fucking brilliant, and it works for the roles that they have for you. You just so monotone, and I just love it. I love it. Lena Quigley, shout out, because you are fucking brilliant. You are an incredible bad actress. I love your work. I really do. I'm not even being condescending. I really like, there's an art to how you act, and I just fucking appreciate the shit out of it. Moving on, her performance, I hate life, death always. It's so fucking dramatic, and I love it. Yeah, it really was the attitude of the angsty movement at the time. It captured it so greatly. Another actor, surprising, and you'll, if you're my age, you'll note it immediately. There's a black actor, and he's so great. He's a good actor, but for whatever fucking reason, he never made it out of weird bit parts. Like, blame it on management, blame it on whatever, because he has talent. It's there. He was in Joanna Man, which is one of those horrible flip gender to get into whatever career path you're trying to get into here. But he's so funny, but he was a great actor, and I swear to God, he has a line in it, and he calls somebody a honky, and I fucking died for like 12 minutes. Few things in this life are as excellent as a well-timed, impassioned honky comment. Going back to talking about race, I'll be the first one to fucking laugh. Honky is such a great fucking, God, how funny. Anyways, moving on. That was a great scene. This is so great. It's funny, but not in a trying too hard to be funny. It's like organically funny in some spots. It's fucking hilarious in the spots it's not supposed to be, which is also, I will kind of team on the edge of Killer Clowns from Outer Space, also one of my fucking favorite movies, of like, it's kind of like, is it supposed to be funny? Because this is fucking funny. It's cool, but it's darkly funny. The kill scenes are fucking rad. They're running zombies, but they're not like fucking parkour zombies. Like, they're not gonna flip over shit like the, what was it, 2000s Dawn of the Dead remake. Don't get me wrong, that movie had its merit, but the fucking parkour zombies crack me the fuck up. That's why I couldn't get into World War Z. I was like, you're gonna tell me that these little fuckers can like make it their own tower of zombies to climb over? Get out of here. You know, that shit pisses me off. The only pass I give to almost parkour zombies would be 28 Days Later. That's like, off the top of my memory, the only movie that gets a pass, in my opinion, on those. Oh my God, Cillian Murphy. Anyways. So, death scenes are cool. Practical effects are fucking amazing. The makeup for the zombies that they did focus on, fucking brilliant. And to this day, are better than most zombie movies that I have seen. It's obvious to me that Greg Nicotero got a lot. He worked directly with Tom Savini, and that's fucking obvious. And he was, you know, he was in the Romero kind of universe, absolutely, working on one of my favorites, Day of the Dead. So he cut his teeth in that royalty. However, I think he was also inspired by Return of the Living Dead, which Romero had no, I mean, despite what people might think, because, oh, it's a sequel to Night of the Living Dead. Not at all. Not at all. The only reference it ever gives to Night of the Living Dead is that the original source of the zombie plague came from that. They vaguely mention it for like a minute of tying it into the first one. I don't know why I did that. So But aside from that, nothing to do with it. You could still tell that Greg picked up on those makeup fucking awesomeness scenes and was like, okay, this is how you do good zombie, and thus how we got, you know, Walking Dead. I haven't even, to be honest, watched it for the last 2 seasons. I completely lost interest. We could talk about that in another video on another day. It's really sad because I really loved that show for a while. I am interested in seeing their new one based in the future. That actually looks really cool. I enjoy the concept, and so far the zombie designs are really fucking neat. Again, incorporating nature, and you know, these zombies are, God, at least a decade or more old, so they're rotted to the point where they're actually growing into shit, and that makes sense. Organic material, right? You're rotting, like really rotting. So, Tarman, not pointing to my tits, I'm pointing to the thing on my tits. This is Tarman. He fucked me up as a kid. He really cemented my horror interest, because that makeup, dude, they picked the most emaciated person on the planet and did his body like that. Was almost like his second skin. It was so tight, and that really added to the effect of like, oh fuck, this really does look like a fucking corpse. The face, the way they did the eyes and the nose, everything was fucking brilliant. It was amazing. Fucking kudos, honestly. Like, fucking kudos to the makeup team and effects team for that movie. Fucking great. There's also a half zombie scene where they're actually talking to a zombie. They talk in this movie, which doesn't bother me because it's not... It doesn't distract you from the rest of what's going on. It's not like they're doing Shakespeare. They're doing very, very general statements. And even the way they respond is pained and very, it's cool. It's not like you're having a fucking conversation like with your neighbor. So I dug it a lot. It added to it, actually. The way that they incorporated that specific scene was brilliant, because the fact that a zombie was communicating and they were like, holy shit, they can talk, and they were getting information out of the zombie. They straight up asked the zombie, like, why? I don't think that's a huge spoiler, honestly, because it's not like I'm not answering anything, and if you're gonna watch it, you're gonna watch it. It's fucking amazing, and you should. The ending was pretty... Yeah, I'm not gonna even say anything, because I'm not gonna do anything until I get into the spoiler, which I should, because it's already fucking 18 minutes. I could talk about this movie forever. Okay, I'm gonna wrap this up. One honorable mention, has nothing to do with this movie, but since I was talking about Jordan Peele, please watch Lovecraft Country on HBO Max. It's fucking amazing. You know, again, I'm very timid to watch his work because, you know, it reminds me, because it's not just about racism, it's very political also. Us is very political, and I kind of try to shy away. I don't like the political stuff so much in my horror anymore. So, but Lovecraft Country, it's so good. Every episode gets better. It's worth it. Just the subscription is worth it just for Lovecraft Country alone. Right now they're doing a special, I think, where it's only $12 a month. It's worth it. Get rid of one of the other subscriptions that you're not watching if that's what it's going to take to get this. If you had to cut one, I would say, unfortunately, if your big thing is scary movies and horror, I would say if you had to choose, cut Hulu. Sorry, they're not doing too great on their horror selection. It's lacking, in my opinion, and I'm sure they'll ramp it up for Halloween, but I like platforms that respect this genre all year round. So, and I will tell you, HBO Max did fucking brilliant with investing into Lovecraft Country. Having said that, Yes, watch it. I have it in my collection. I cherish that movie. I love it, and I watch it every few, at least I would say maybe once every year or two. It's a staple in my collection, and I love it, and I will own much merchandise to reflect it. I have a couple shirts. Cavity Colors, which is where I got this, also has a pair of Turtleman sweats that I'm eyeing, but I'm just like, because I'm starting a new job and I don't want to. God, they're taking all my money. I just bought a bunch of their trick-or-treat stuff. Check them out, Cavity Colors. Lots of great horror merch. So anyways, Spoiled Rotten in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Had to think about that. Do not watch if you don't want to be spoiled. Okay. The plot. Green guy on his first day, seasoned warehouse veteran is showing him around. Hey, you want to see something cool? Because Lord knows that's how most horror movies start. Is either what was that noise, want to see something cool, or no one's going to find out. Are like the three big, like, okay, this is happening now, statements of horror movies. So they check out these like very old what the fuck would capsules, literal capsules, and they're like, oh yeah, there's bodies in here. Oh yeah, in the 60s, shout to Night of the Living Dead. They say that the dead were walking and they rounded them up. Oh, they said they blamed it on a toxic leak or a gas leak and da-da-da-da-da. But these are the bodies. They fell off of an army truck, which honestly nowadays, that's not surprising that's not even like fictional. That probably fucking happened at some point. Oh, this is cool. Tinker with it. They pass out. The gas that's encapsulating, yes, this zombie who's Turtleman, leaks out into the whole warehouse. All of the shit in that warehouse, which I had mentioned earlier, which is a few dead things, come to life. And they freak the fuck out. Zombie shit ensues. So how it gets out of the warehouse, there is a cemetery across the street. Convenient. So his friends are all fucking waiting for him to get off of work, want to fuck around in the graveyard and be punky and fuck the man, like in the cemetery, because we're still like that, punk, goth, fucking whatever you are. If you're any kind of in that macabre darkness, whatever, you're gonna be that way. Forever cemeteries, I don't know. I'm not gonna lie, even I fucking get down with cemeteries sometimes. So anyways, they try to get rid of the evidence of this leaking. Oh, we can't let this get out. Let's go burn it at the fucking crematorium across the street in the morgue. Because, yeah, we want all that gas to just go all over the fucking graveyard, which it does. And the punk kids are in there. And the fucking madness starts. Okay, there's the peak, the apex of this movie is when the zombies really start to come out, right? And then, like, this fucking, like, half zombie corpse up from their grave. And the fucking, do you want to party? And this fucking epic 80s rock zombie scene happens where there's like death and mayhem and people are running around. And it's fucking great. It gets you so amped. And you're just like, fuck, this is crazy. I love it. Such a great scene. And the irony, I don't want to give everything away, but some people predict their own death scenes. So punk. I want to die on my own terms. So anyways, and then you meet Ernie, who's the owner of the crematorium, and he's fucking so great. Such a great character. Really leads everybody through the rest of the movie. And yeah, it's just a fun ride. Go watch it, like, now. I don't even know if I don't think it's on streaming, and it's not like we can go to Blockbuster anymore, so I don't know how you would even watch it, but I guess if it's on like a streaming like Vudu or Google Movies. I don't even know if Google Movies is a thing anymore. What's another one? Fandango. I use Fandango. So yeah, just go buy it. It's worth it. Go to your whatever semi-local. Please, I'm gonna say this: if you buy DVDs, used or otherwise, if you can avoid getting them on Amazon, Amazon makes enough money as it is. If there is a place in your community that sells used DVDs, I don't care if it's fucking twice the markup. Go buy from them. They're struggling and they need us right now. Build your horror collection from there. In fact, I'm going to make it a point to go there today and pick up some movies. And then I will show you my haul. In any case, that is my review for this movie. Acting is cheesy great. The effects were fucking fantastic. The plot was great. Like I said before, you couldn't have made this movie in any other decade, in any other time, and it would have, for it to have been as perfect as it was. It was just the perfect everything. The stars aligned to make this movie as great as it is, and it holds up, and it will always hold up to this day. The fun, the grit. I will be doing a review of Return of the Living Dead Part 2. I don't know if I'll even do a Part 3. That was a ridiculous fucking movie on its own. But we'll do Part 2 for sure some other time. Okay? You guys have a great weekend. Thank you for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. I really enjoy this. I love you guys so much. Thank you for all your support. This has been so fun so far, and I will continue to do this. Have a great day. Bye.